Hello everybody and welcome back. It's been a while, about 1 to 2 weeks. I've been kind of stuck thinking of anything to create, so I haven't streamed, recorded, or edited anything. But today, Mojang was like, hey, let's release a snapshot, and that's why I'm here. Today, we'll be covering the 20W45A snapshot and everything it brings, starting with Calcite and Tough. Calcite and Tough are two blocks you can find around the Amethyst geodes, which we'll get to soon. Calcite and Tough are both mineable with pickaxes, starting with a wooden pickaxe. Except I gotta restart now. Calcite and Tough are two blocks found around Amethyst geodes, which we'll get to later, that are mineable with pickaxes. If I head over into survival mode and take these pickaxes out of my inventory, we will see that it's mineable with a wooden pickaxe and above. Both of these blocks are mineable with that. However, I expect one block to be mined more often than the other because calcite is much more appealing to the eyes than Tough, which looks like diorite if it was stone. Hey, so while recording this video, I actually forgot one of the features that was added in the update, so I'm covering that right now. If we head over here to this chest, we'll find a cauldron and a bucket of lava. You can now put lava in cauldrons, and it hurts you. I guess that's important. I'll send you back to the rest of the video now. Speaking of amethyst geodes, here we are at Amethyst. There are two types of amethyst. Amethyst, which is regular, and budding amethyst. When you hit each, they both make a sound. Regular amethyst is mineable with any iron pickaxe or above, and it actually gives you the blocks. However, the budding amethyst, which is where the crystals actually spawn, as seen here, when you mine it, it doesn't actually drop anything. Makes sense. The amethyst crystals here are in 4 stages, each one actually having a varying height. If I press F3 and you look at my Y coordinate, it goes up slightly. The only ones you can actually get crystals from is the biggest one. Amethyst shards are shown here, and I'll get to what they can be used for later. Next up, we have the copper blocks. The copper block, the lightly weathered copper block, the semi-weathered copper block, and the weathered copper block represent the 4 different stages of oxidation, and they also come in these variants: the cut copper stairs, and cut copper slabs, which each have their different things. They're pretty cool blocks, and over time they go through the different stages. If you don't want them to go through the stages, you can get waxed copper, which is created by adding one of the stages of copper with honeycombs. You can't actually get the weathered copper, which is this stage, sadly, because it's already in the last stage, so you don't need it. If you need to get copper, you can find copper ore by mining. It's mineable with a stone pickaxe, but sadly not a wooden pickaxe. Next up, we have the candles, which come in many different colors. To craft the candles, you need a honeycomb and a string. We've seen a few recipes now that require honeycomb, which will make bee farming more wantable. They come in all these different colors, and they function like sea pickles, where you can change the thing. Another cool feature of the candles is that they show different light levels depending on their size. I have each stage here, as you saw me place, and if I light them with candles, you see it different. You can't really see it much, but if I head right over here, the 4 produces the largest light, the 3 produces a little less, the 2 doesn't produce much, and the 1 barely produces anything. I expect the candles to be used as light sources in a lot of houses because they're cool, and I'm being attacked by a spider. So, I'll see you in a second. I hate this spider. The next item I have is the lightning rod. I don't really know how to use it that well, so here it is. It looks cool. Someone else will probably have footage of it working, but I do not. Next up is the Spyglass. Now, let me just take this out of my hotbar. Spyglass, I'll put the crafting recipe up on screen now. It basically is Optifine for poor people, people who don't have Optifine. You can look ahead. Ooh, what's that? You'll have to wait to find out. Now, this thing might get a bit annoying, but if you press F1, pretty cool, right? And if you have whatever key binded to cinematic mode, it works like that, and it's very cool. As that sign says, pretty cool, right? Let's put this back and move on to the next item. Sacks. Sacks are basically like bad shulker boxes. You use them by right-clicking on an item. Now, the amount of items you can put in a certain bundle is dependent on the amount that item can actually stack to. So as you see, I can put the dirt and oak planks. At the moment, you don't actually see the items, you see the amount of them. So it's a bit different than how we saw in the trailer. But if I try to do it with armor, as you see, it's full with one tunic. I do it with shards. You see, it fills it with shards. And if I do it with a pickaxe, it's full. They're pretty cool items, and I expect them to be used a bit for building supplies, but I don't really know. As I hinted at earlier, the next item, and final, is Tinted Glass. A pretty cool item. It requires normal glass and 4 amethyst shards. This is the crafting recipe for it. Now, I might be like, oh, tinted glass, that's cool. What does it do? Sadly, it's not blast resistant, but it actually makes it darker underneath. I'll have some footage here of it actually working. You can use it as like glass, and then you can have it dark underneath, and it basically, the center is always the darkest. So it basically depends on how wide the amount of space you have is. So if you wanted to have it white, if you want to have the light level 0, it has to go out about 15 blocks on each side. So a bit inconvenient, but you can use it for the top of a mob farm if you want, so you can look down into it while not creating any light. It's pretty cool. And that is the final thing added in this update. I thought it was pretty cool, and I'm excited to see what comes next. But if you want to see what's next, make sure to go subscribe to people who actually do good update videos, because I probably won't do another one of those, because I only did this for views. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.